operator manual. How to install the main component of the equipment. Move the device to a specified point based on the device layout diagram. Feeding unit forklift up demonstration. Feeding unit fork down demonstration. Mailing back body folding unit fork up demonstration. Mailing back body folding unit fork down demonstration. Collection unit fork up demonstration. Collection unit put down demonstration. Distribution cabinet fork up demonstration. Distribution cabinet put down demonstration. Collection unit installation demonstration. The chain link of the collection unit. Wiring and connection. Wiring. Remove the wire from the electric cabinet. Pull the cable out of the cabinet according to the path. Connect the button glue even servo aversion plug. Connect the button opening servo aversion plug. Connect the main energy drive servo aversion plug. Connect the transmission wheel servo aversion plug. Connect the tube cutting servo aversion plug. Connect the traction servo aversion plug. Connect the thumb knife servo aversion plug. Open the side door of the machine and take out the wire. Open the side door of unwinding unit and take out the wire. Connect the feeding power supply aversion plug. Connect the feeding unit signal aversion plug. Connect the machine signal aversion plug. Connect the communication line. Connect the aversion plug of vacuum pump. Connect the color code plug. Connect the main power as required. Turn on the side power supply. Turn on the main power supply. Servo alarms A810 after power on. Click on the touch screen to enter. Then click the alarm interface. Then click the servo alarm. Then reset the servo driver with alarm. After the power is off, wait 1 minute and then restart. Servo alarm clearing. Connect the air pipe between the hose part and the unwinding part. Connect the air pipe of the side glue pressure bubble. Connect the air pipe of the side glue pressure bubble. Connect the main air pipe to the unwinding part. Click Setup. Then click Setup Wizard. Click Start Setting. Then long press from Adaptive and click Start. The correction system will start to detect limited. Click back after the detection is successful. Then click Next. Click the left and the right arrows. The correction device can swing right and left normally. Click Next. Then select photoelectric sensor. Then click Next. Click Next. Then change to automatic mode. Change polarity to plus and change gain value to 20. Double click to return. The setting of automatic correction system is completed. Automatic tension system setting. Click Setup. Then enter password 0100. Select checker parameters. Click Setup. Select checker 0 set. Enter the 0 interface. And long press the setup to start setting. Then check value to 0 and click back. Select hand weight calibration. Set weight to 25 kg. Put 25 kg weight through tension checker. Keep weight fixed. Tighten the rope. Then long press setup. Test value and set value are 25 kg. The setting of automatic tension system is completed. Hydraulic paper loader. Long press the feeding and the unloading buttons respectively to check whether the feeding swing arms run smoothly. If there is no abnormality, check whether the oil gauge pressure is 500 to 1000 psi. After the loading swing arm is placed at the lowest end. If the feeding swing arm runs stuck, adjust the oil cylinder knob. Loading the paper. Open the air shaft barcode. Move the air shaft to the feeding swing arm. Long press the unloading button to lower the air swell shaft. Get the air shaft through the paper roll. Move the paper roll to the feeding rack. Long press the feeding button. Lock the barcode on both sides. Lateral position of raw material. Bonding width plus get set of paper bag plus half surface width of paper bag. Center of the paper bag. The center position of the paper bag should be on the same plane as the center position of the machine. After the equipment is correctly arranged according to the equipment layout diagram, the distance between the center of the paper bag and the wall board is 655 mm, and the paper roll position is set correctly. Then inflate the air shaft. Adjust the width of the forming template. Loosen the fixed hand wheel. Rotate the template to adjust the hand wheel and adjust the width of the template to the appropriate position. Adjust the toy part of the forming template. Loosen the knob on the stable support arm. Adjust the support arm so that the forming template is aligned with the center line of the machine and parallel to the wall on both sides of the machine. The width of the toy part of the forming template is slightly greater than the width of the ankle part of the forming template. Check whether the forming template is aligned with the traction wheel. If not, loosen the front and the rear fixing bolts. A total of 8 fixing screws. Loosen the fixed nuts of the front and the rear adjusting bolts. Adjust the screw clockwise rotation can improve the forming template toy. Turn the adjusting screw counterclockwise to lower the toy part of the forming template. After setting, relock the fixed nut and bolt. Set the friction wheel. The edge of the material shaft forming template inward. The friction wheel will tighten. Adjust the screw handle to change the length of the friction wheel and the angle of the forming template. These rubber wheels should be at an angle of 5 to 10 degrees from the main energy center line. Increase or decrease the counterweight on the friction wheels as required. Check the height of the clamp side round plate. Check whether the clamping plate is in the center of the two forming templates. If not, adjust the height adjustment the hand wheel of the support fixing frame on the wall of the machine, and adjust the support fixing frame upward or downward according to need by using the height adjustment hand wheel. After the adjustment, lock the height adjustment hand wheel. Set the height of the clamp side round plate in 4 positions in turn. Set the lateral position of the clamp side round plate. Loosen the climbing knob on the hand wheel of the clamping side round plate. Rotate the edge clamp side round plate to adjust the hand wheel until the edge of the forming plate is aligned with the correct scale on the clamp side round plate. The position of the clamp side round plate should be half of the sideways divide gasket of the paper bag. After adjustment, lock the climbing knob on the adjusting hand wheel. Set the guide rod of the forming template. Adjust the screw handle to allow the material to pass smoothly through the ankle part of the forming template. Pull the paper to the traction wheel by steps. Close the tension. Pull the paper roll over the unwinding part through specific paths. Lift the friction wheel of the forming part. Before the paper roll into the forming part, fold up the front end of paper roll. Pull the paper roll out for a distance. Align the center of the paper bag with the center of the host machine, and pull the paper roll into the forming part. Hold the paper roll above the template with one hand. Hold the paper roll below the template with one hand, and pull the paper roll forward with the other hand. Until the paper roll is pulled to traction wheel. Put down the traction wheel. Put the friction wheel down. Reopen the tension. Set the tension to the appropriate data. Side glue device setting. The knobs of the adage glue device have 3 states. The adage glue device does not work when it stops. The adage glue device always works when it is manual, and the working state of the adage glue device automatically changes with the running state of the equipment. Glue applicator of the adage glue device is about 1 mm away from the roller. Rotate the side glue adjuster wheel. Can move the glue applicator horizontally on the drum. Move the glue applicator to the edge of the paper barrel. Clockwise adjust the knob on the glue applicator. Can adjust the amount of the glue. Counterclockwise adjust the knob on the glue applicator to increase the amount of glue. Adjust the position of the traction wheel. Raise the upper seat traction wheel. Loosen the upper seat traction wheel to fix the top wire until the traction wheel is passed to the paper roll 2 to 3 cm. Lock and fix the top wire. Adjust the air pressure of the puller. Clockwise rotation of pressure regulating valve knob can increase the cylinder pressure. Reduce the pressure on the cylinder by turning the pressure regulating valve knob counterclockwise. Set the cylinder pressure to 40 to 60 psi and set the same pressure on the front and the rear side. Paper rolled. In the case of uneven side of the paper tube, pry the upper layer of the paper tube or the lower layer of the paper tube. Can make the side of the paper tube aligned. Install the cutter. Loosen the buoys of the fixing block. Install the cutter between the fixed blocks. The vertical side of the cutter must be on the leading edge of the rotation direction, and the inclined side must be on the trailing edge of the running direction. Cutter extension length is generally 11 to 12 mm. Lock the buoys of the fixing blocks. Align with the upper and lower cutting rollers. Turn off the cutter servo. Loosen the fastening buoys on the rear wheel hoop of the gear. Manually turn the roller of the upper seat and the lower seat to align the cutting knife with the cutting model. Lock the fixing buoy of the rear gear hoop. Manually turn the cutting drum to ensure that the cutting knife will not touch the cutting mold. When the cutter is aligned with the cutting mold, set the orange of the cutting drum on the touch screen. Set the lateral position of transfer drum. Loosen the fixing screws of the conveying drum and move the conveying drum horizontally. Ensure that the transfer drum can be pressed to 4 layers of paper cylinder. Lock the fixing screws of the transmission drum. Move the lower seat transfer drum to align with the upper seat transfer drum. Set the transmission drum is turned in the same way. Adjust the pressure. Turn off the transfer drum. Manually turn the transfer drum so that the higher part of the upper transfer jump, press the paper tube. Loosen the fix the nuts of the front and the rear square head bolts. Clockwise rotation of the square head bolt can reduce the pressure. Clockwise rotation of square head bolt can increase the pressure. Pull the paper barrel to confirm that the conveying jump can press the paper barrel. Relock and fix the nuts of the front and the rear square head bolts. Adjust transfer jump and the cutting time point. Turn off the transmission wheel when the cutter starts to cut the paper tube. The upper transmission jump to press the paper tube first. Rotate the leading edge of the higher part of. Set the origin of the transmission wheel on the touch screen. Install the folding knife. Put the folding knife into the folding knife groove. Lock the folding knife fixing screw. Adjust the second crease cutter and the second crease groove. Loosen the hexagonal screws on the folding jump, and loosen the fixing screws on the outer fixing seat of the folding jump. The second folding knife can be freely rotated to adjust the position. Turn the hand wheel until the second folding knife is aligned with the second folding groove. Lock the hexagonal screw on the folding jump to turn the hand wheel. Check the first and the second folding knife are aligned with the folding groove. Check and tighten the fixing screws on the outer fixing seat of the folding jump. Set the lateral position of pressure line jump transfer desk. Loosen the fixed screw of the pressure line transmission desk. Move the disc to the outside so that the outside of the disc is just inside the inside edge folding line. Lock the fixing bolt of the transmission disc jump. Adjust the pressure of the transfer disc of the pressure roller. Loosen the fixed nut of the front and the rear bolts. Turn the adjusting screw in the clockwise direction to reduce the pressure. Turn the adjusting screw in the clockwise direction to increase the pressure. Lock and loosen the fixed nut of the front and the rear screws after checking. Adjust the open edge mechanical finger of the pressure roller. Loosen the fixed screw of the open edge mechanical finger holder and move the mechanical paper fixing holder so that the distance between the mechanical finger tip and the outer edge of the paper cylinder is about 3 mm. Adjust the shape of the mechanical finger so that the mechanical finger can smoothly pick up the clamping part of the paper tube so that the paper tube smoothly forward to the guide plate. Lock the screw of the fixed seat of the open edge mechanical finger. Set the lateral position of bottom roller. Loosen the boys located on scale of the can fixing seat of the bottom opening roller. Move the bottom opening roller sideways and move the bottom opening roller to a position 2 mm away from the edge of paper tube. Tighten the boys. Setting the origin of the bottom roller. Turn off the enable of the bottom opening jump on the touch screen and manually turn the opening jump mechanical finger to align the jump mechanical finger. Adjust the bottom roller. Check the position of the bottom opening roller mechanical finger clamped on the paper tube and whether it is clamped on the first fold line. If the position of the clamp is behind the position of the first fold line, add adjustment to the bottom opening adjustment items on the touch screen. The position of is ahead of the position of the first fold line. Then the bottom opening adjustment will be adjusted in the touch evaluation. If the bottom of the bag cannot be fully opened, the adjustment wheel must be rotated clockwise. If the paper tube is torn, you need to rotate the adjusting wheel counterclockwise. Adjust the back bottom folder. Turn the machine so that the back is just under the folder at the bottom of the back. Loosen the fixing seat bolt of the folded copper plate and side the fixing. Sit along the axis so that the inner side of the folded copper plate at the bottom of the back is about 6 mm away from the side edge of the paper bag. Loosen the fixing bolts of the folded copper plate. Adjust the position of the folded copper plate at the bottom of the bag so that the bottom of the bag opened by the bag just touches the folded copper plate and start to press the bottom of the bag. The folded copper plate must press the bottom of the opened bag against the surface of the black wheel. Tighten the bolt after adjustment is complete. Loosen the fixing seat bolt of the folding guide rod and slide the fixing seat along the axis to make the bottom of the bag unfold smoothly. Pay attention that the folding guide rod cannot touch the central crown of the drum. Paper bag flattening guide. Loosen the bolt on the fixing seat. Move the pressure strip fixing seat so that the pressure iron is located at a distance of about 3 to 5 mm outside of the viscous shape of the bottom of the bag. Tighten the bolt of the holding bar fixing seat. The second adjustable spider type synchronous adjustment fixture of the wheel clamp. Loosen the fixing bolt of the synchronous adjustment fixing frame of the second clamp and turn the synchronous adjustment fixing frame of the second wheel clamp. The correct distance should be the bottom of the bag minus 7 to 9 mm. Tighten the fixing bolt on the front side of the drum so that the synchronous adjustment fixing frame of the second wheel fixture is fixed in the correct position. Adjust the wheel mechanical finger. Rotate the machine manually so that the mechanical finger of the black wheel of the first working station reaches the top of the black wheel. Loosen the fixed bolt of the synchronous adjustment fixing frame of the wheel mechanical finger. Move the fixed frame of the black wheel mechanical finger along the axis so that the black wheel mechanical fingertip interacts with the required width dimension. The gap between the wheel mechanical finger body and the cam is 3 to 4 mm. When tightening the bolt on the wheel, be sure to keep the required width of the paper bag. Rotate the machine manually so that the middle finger is on the top of the wheel. Loosen the 6 bolts of the middle clamp's finger fixing frame. The distance between the top of the middle clamp finger and the first clamp line is the length of the bottom fold of the bag 3 to 5 mm, and tighten the bolt after adjustment. Adjust the position of the paper roll guide. Loosen the fixing bolt of the paper tube guide plate. Move the guide plate along the axis so that the lower end of the guide plate enters the side of the paper tube 2 to 3 cm, and the upper end of the guide plate is about 3 mm away from the fingertip of the wheel. Install the soft cushion of the bottom coated side of the bag. Cut the soft cushion on the foam material according to the required glue shape. Clean the sizing roller. Paste the foam cushion on the appropriate position of the sizing roller. Rotate the machine to check whether the gluing is normal. If not, repaste the sponge cushion to a suitable position. Adjust the time to fold the fixture. Loosen the fixing bolt on the fixed frame of the first fold, close to the first clamp of the opening wheel, so that the folding hand just crosses the trailing edge of the first clamp of the black wheel when it is opened, and align the first fold line on the paper tube. Tighten the bolt of the first folding fixing frame. Adjust the second folding knife in the same way. Closing device. Turn off the enable of the closing roller serve. When the driven roller of the second clamp touches the release cam of the second clamp, move the bottom closing roller of the back to cross the second clamp. Reopen the enable of the closing roller. Rotate the machine to confirm the closing action of the first fold. If you need to fine-tune the closing roller, you can perform the closing adjustment operation on the touch screen. Adjust the pressure of the distribution wheel. Click distribution cylinder on the touch screen to drop the distribution wheel, and loosen the fixing nut of the stop bolt on the front and the rear sides. Turn the stop bolt in a clockwise direction to increase the pressure, or turn the stop bolt in a counterclockwise direction to reduce the pressure. Tighten the fixing nut of the stop bolt. Switch the dispensing wheel switch to off. Check that the distribution wheel is 1 to 2 mm away from the jump surface. Collection department. Adjust the faceplate. Loosen the fixing bolt of the flower plate. Adjust the gap of the flower disc to the back that comes out. Tighten the fixing bolt of the faceplate. Adjust the back receiving baffle. Loosen the two baffle fixing bolts. Move the back receiving baffle inward or outward to a suitable position according to width of the back surface. Fix two baffle fixing bolts. Equipment installation and debugging.